what does a Bible-believing Christian look like from the outside? And I think one of the things that we can look like is proud. Maybe that's shocking, that's surprising, but yeah, that's very possible. Like, for example, if someone from another religion looks at us, like let's say someone from Islam looks at us and we say, "Oh, heaven is mine. I am saved. I will go to heaven. God will, it's done." They look at us and they kind of think blasphemer if they take the time to talk with us. But even a traditional Christian, someone, maybe I shouldn't say traditional, that's not the right term, someone who is coming from a low, from a legally based Christian religion, okay, like someone who is trying to perform and approve himself before God and believes that they have to pay for salvation. They look at you and me and we say, "Yes, Christ has saved me, I'm going to heaven." And they think, "Wow, what incredible pride, what terrible conceit, like that's amazing. How can you think like that? You're crazy, you're, once again, blasphemer, maybe even." It looks so wrong, and welcome, by the way, for this morning's jolt, and I trust it will jolt your spiritual brain cells. And we're in Philippians 3:9, I believe, and Paul has just expressed that he's willing to count everything as dung so that he could daily know Christ, not just the day of salvation, but that every day he's willing to give up everything to take hold of who Christ is. And then he says in the next verse, verse 9, "And to be found in him, in Christ, not having my own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Christ, the righteousness which is of God by faith." Okay, that he says, I want this. This is our foundation for believing that heaven is ours, for believing that salvation is ours. It is not our perfection, but it is we're trusting in Christ's work for us. His work for me was perfect. I mean, he is God, so his work, I'm pretty sure that was perfect because he is God. He doesn't really make mistakes. And so I can take that and I can say, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm taking that and I'm believing that his work for me was perfect. It's not my pride. I'm boasting in what he has done for me. Now, make no mistake, Bible-believing Christians, we can be proud, sure, no question. We can be idiots just like the rest of the world. There's no question about that. But if I am basing it on the Bible and on the work of Christ, that I have heaven, I have salvation, that I have righteousness, then that is not pride. That is trusting in his work. As Paul said it here, he expresses it more thoroughly maybe in Romans 5 verse 1 and the last verses of Romans 4, but I'm not going to go into that now. That's not our conversation now or thought now. But if you think about it, it's interesting that to be right, like Paul is saying, I'm willing to give up being right. I'm just interested in him being right in my stead. And to be right is such a basic desire. I think it's the most basic desire that humans have. It's an interesting proposition. We could discuss it, but not now. Once again, but think about it. People want to be right. How badly we want to be right. You can see it on Facebook, you can see it on forums, you can see it in politics, you can see it in everyday conversations. People want to be right. I mean, marriages, countless marriages go break up because people want to be right. I mean, that's terrible, but it's just a matter of fact. People care more about being right than about loving their spouse, and then their marriage ends because of that. But Paul is saying, I'm not interested in my righteousness. I am interested in his. Now listen, when I take hold of that, when I say, okay, I am going to live with his righteousness, I'm not trying to prove that I am right, this is not my interest, then listen, we then live over most of the fray that humanity has, most of the arguments, most of the fights that humanity has. Near 100%, I think. We can just live over that because we're not trying to prove us being right. We're not interested in the whole thing. We're just interested in that Christ was right for us, and we take hold of that daily and we love that. And then we are found in him, not having our own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Christ, the righteousness which is of God by faith. Well, God bless you in this day, and go